Gemini, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are just looking at a bit of, general, whatever you need to know right now, what's going on for you. I do have, instead of specifically looking at love, we are going to be sort of trying to, just find some relevant answers for you when it comes to love, as well as time frames that are going to be important for you with love. Okay, so we'll get to that when we get to that, but please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. Every single like, comment and subscribe, it really does help out the channel, so thank you so much. This week we have the Oracle of the Shapeshifters, as well as the Terra Lenormand this week. And like I said, when we get to love, we are going to be using the Angel Answers Oracle cards, as well as the Mystical Moon Oracle, which is a timing deck. Okay, so we've got answers and timing coming through in love this week. But firstly, we'll have a look and see what's coming through just in the general for you, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what is going on for our Geminis? What does Gemini need to know right now, please? Gemini Collective, what is going on for the Gemini Collective, please? Ooh, okay. I do see these two come out quite a lot when I'm using these cards. Firstly, we have the Fairy Ring coming through. That's new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. So I do feel for a lot of you, this is connected to some sort of learning, education, training that you may be undertaking. For some of you, it does feel like it's mostly career related for a lot of you here, or it may be, for some of you, it may be to do, learning more about how to, because I am picking up friendships coming through strongly here. So it may have to do with interpersonal relationships and learning a little bit more about how we get along with people and, how to strengthen friendship bonds and those sorts of things. We do also have the Dinosaur Friends card coming through. So those two definitely can be connected for some of you with that friendship stuff. That one does say childhood treasures resurface. I'm not so much feeling the childhood energy there. I am just feeling it's more about the friendship and things that you're creating strong bonds with. If there is a reference to childhood stuff, it may be the way that you've connected with people from your childhood, so the way that you made friends when you were a child, and there's an element of that coming through now, maybe needing to relearn those little skills on how to create stronger bonds of friendship, and releasing some of those previous things that maybe are, the more immature side of connecting to people, because I'm just sort of getting this imagery here of children. A lot of the time there's this thing when they're making friends that they feel as though the more stuff that they give a friend, the more likely that person will be their friend, like actual material items. Like if I give this kid all my toys, that kid will be my friend. But like, as we kind of know, as we get older, that true friendships do not rely on materialistic stuff. The more that you give somebody, the more that they are, going to expect that and maybe take advantage of that. So there's just something coming through in regard to that, Gemini, but we'll clarify what that's all about for you here. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini? The Fairy Ring and Dinosaur Friends energy for Gemini. Okay, and that's something specific coming through there too. I did just have one fly out here. I'll come back to that energy because it does feel a little bit separate for most of you here. Clarifying the Fairy Ring and Dinosaur Friends for Gemini, please. And just a couple of cards to clarify that card that flew out for Gemini, please. Why did that fly out for our Geminis, please? Right. So it is actually connected. But that one that flew out, it's kind of telling us a little bit more about the situation, whereas the ones where I've clarified the situation, it's sort of telling us how to deal with it a little bit more. The one that flew out here, we do have the rider, okay, which does normally talk about, good news on the way, but in this case, it may not necessarily be good news. It's just that awareness that's being delivered to you here, the awareness of something. There may be something actually occurring for some of you. We do have that clarified by the tower and the mountain. So this is definitely connecting to that childhood aspect that we spoke about, the foundation of how you create and maintain friendships, and the way that that is actually creating some blockages for you, some obstacles in the way that you are connecting to people, because it's kind of like that example, I keep getting drawn back to that same example that, if you give somebody all your toys, then you're having to sit there and deal with this obstacle of, now I have no toys. That friend has all my toys, and now they won't even let me play with them. They're not even my friend. They're not, I gave them all my toys, and they won't even let me play with them. But there's something about the way that you have created foundations in relationships, and you've created these expectations on yourself, that because you've created the foundation of that relationship on a certain path, that now that is what is expected of you. And so, like, if you are someone who creates friendships by giving people a lot of stuff, or giving people, it's that energy of paying for friends. Like, when I'm getting that childhood immaturity coming through in that sense, that it's like, if you've created a friendship with somebody, and every time you see that person, you're the one who pays for the coffee, you're the one that pays for the meal, that is now actually expected of you within that relationship, and that person takes advantage of that. They and as soon as you go to meet up with that person, and you may not have very much money that weekend, you can only afford to pay for your own coffee, and all of a sudden this person's like, Gemini, you have to pay. Like, it becomes an expectation, and you've made it harder for yourself. Basically, you've put that blockage there in that connection, because you can't backtrack from that very easily, is what I'm sort of getting here. That's something that has, it's become just part of that relationship, that you're the one that has to pay for everything, which very unfair on you. It may be something a little bit different there, but I do keep getting those same examples being shown here. um, so this is, new skills, and retraining yourself, and having rapid improvements in how you're creating friendships, and changing those foundations, so that that's no longer an expectation. Maybe needing to have some conversations, but I do feel as though with that rider there, that this is really coming to the surface for you at the moment, and there may be something actually happening where you are going out for coffee with somebody, and they didn't even bring their wallet. That's okay. Gemini is going to pay. They didn't even bring their wallet, so it's becoming very obvious that is a expectation it has been created, that is now sort of your burden to carry within this connection. And so you are sort of really thinking about, how can I change that? I need to change that. I need to do something about that. I need to learn how to, fix that situation. I need to learn how to, find a different way of doing things, new skills, coming to the surface here with these things. That was clarified. Firstly, we have the clover here. So, it feels, for you, it may feel like it's taking a bit of a chance, taking a risk, because you don't know, if all of a sudden I stop paying, does that mean that this person's no longer going to be my friend? I feel like there's a little bit of energy like that around this, where you're kind of, it feels like it's a bit of a risk, like it's, that if I stop paying for everything, is it a risk I'm taking that I might lose everything? But you're kind of realizing that, it's worth taking the risk. It's worth investing in things in different ways, because, if that person's going to expect me to pay for everything, that maybe that's not really a friend. I feel like that's kind of coming to the surface for you a little bit more here. And so it does feel as though you're trying to invest in these relationships in a kind of different way, and learning from the past from in that sort of sense, and, stirring things up in a more positive kind of way. We have the Stork there. So coming up with new ideas on how to approach these situations, taking a chance on trying out new ideas, different ways of doing these things. In order to move forward. We also have the crossroads there. So, finding new pathways to follow with these connections, and, making that choice that, what, I'm going to take that risk. And if this person, doesn't want to be my friend as soon as I stop paying for everything, that's a choice I'm willing to make, because, it shows me that that person wasn't truly my friend for me, that they were my friend for my money. So I do keep just getting that same example being given here, but, take it as it resonates. It may be something different to that, but it's all about stirring up new ideas and new energy by taking a different path, changing the route a little bit of the way that things are working between you here. For a lot of you, it's going to be with a friend. It may be family members, or other loved ones as well, but that's kind of what I'm picking up here, Gemini. So it is what it is, I suppose, if that resonates for you. But as always, you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But having a look at love, like I said, we're going to look not so much at love itself, but we're going to, look at the answers that you need when it comes to love and love relationships, love and romance, as well as significant timing for you as well. I actually want to do the timing first, because I feel as though some of those answers may apply to specific time frames here. Okay, Gemini, timings that are significant for Gemini with love, please. Times that are significant for Gemini with love and romance, please. I'm getting a couple of things here, Gemini. Firstly, I do have next summer coming through. And for some reason, I don't know why, because normally I do the seasons as my own seasons, but this particular deck, it seems to be running on American seasons. Okay, so I don't know why it's doing that to me, because, normally I would run on my own seasons, which are totally opposite to the USA seasons. But maybe I do have a lot of Geminis watching from the USA. But next summer, okay, so I am getting my winter, all right, which is June, July, August. Okay, June, July, August season next year being somehow important for love. I do have this timing here. It's worth the time. I feel as though that one's actually in regard to the general messages there. So obviously this person, for a lot of you, they are somebody who are connected to you with that unconditional love energy. That that this is somebody important to you. That you're running with this. You're just sort of wondering whether if certain factors about that relationship change, is that person still going to be in my life? Because they are important to you. So you're kind of wanting to, test the waters a little bit by making those changes and taking the money factor off the table, the materialistic stuff, or whatever that is in your particular situation. But it's worth the time to do that, because it's going to give you the reassurance or the knowledge for sure. It's going to give you those new skills as well. So that does feel specific to that main storyline there. We also do see next month looks promising coming through as well. So I'm picking up two separate time frames here for the love stuff. So I'm going to grab those angel answers for those individually. Okay, so the next summer answers for Gemini around this next summer energy, please. June, July, August for Gemini next year. Answers for love and romance for our Geminis, please. So for that we're seeing success and peaceful resolutions. Okay, so that's sort of telling me that next summer, whatever's going on for you when it comes to your love situations, you will have a peaceful, successful resolution. You know, next summer you will be in a really good spot with all of that. Everything will sort of, any issues you've had, you know, you will have had those resolved by then. There will have been success in that connection. I do feel as though for a lot of you that there's some issues that I'm a little bit worried about this, I'm a little bit worried about that. They will all be resolved by that time next year. Okay, this next month looks promising energy for Gemini with love and romance. That does feel more along the lines of something important happening next month, something promising, a promise being made maybe. Clarify this energy for Gemini with love and romance, please. Listen to your intuition and communicate clearly. Yeah, so for a lot of you, there is, you know, a promise, whether it's you or the other person making a promise next month. You need to communicate clearly. If that is a promise that you are making or you're accepting somebody else's promise, it needs to be communicated very, very clearly. Yes, this is a promise, or no, this is not actually, you know, a set in stone, 100% a promise. But you need to listen to your intuition around that situation, as to what exactly is being promised to you as well here, Gemini. So I do hope that helps, you know, clarify a few things for you with love, you know, give you some time frames of importance for you when it comes to love and romance relationships in your life. You know, whatever, even just a little bit of fun, whatever you needed this reading to be, more than welcome to check out your other placements, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.